to digest and a lot of voices to be heard. Stick to the frequency that amplifies these voices, stories and reports that make the difference. This is Akojopo News, 88.7 FM.
This is Kunle Amzat Studio, Akojopo 88.7 FM. Welcome to News Around the World.
Good evening to you and you're welcome to News Around the World on the most listened to radio station Akojopo 88.7 FM Ibadan. I am Wuraola Yusuf. The headlines: Federal government, UNICEF are seeking media support to safeguard children's rights. Oyo State Police report a robbery incident on Secretariat Road, Agodi. US detains a British commentator, Sami Hamdi, in middle of national speaking tour. China fills up void as Asian summit with a push for trade and multilateralism. Juventus sack manager Tudo after 7 months. And now the details. The federal government, in collaboration with the United Nations Education Trust Fund, has called on the media organizations and the practitioners in the country to join hands with it in protecting the rights of children. The federal government, through the Federal Ministry of Information and Orientation, emphasized that journalists played a vital role in shaping public understanding, influencing attitudes, and protecting the most vulnerable members of our society, particularly children. Hence, the collaboration with the media. Speaking at a 2-day training of media practitioners on ethical journalism and children's rights reporting today in Ibadan, Oyo State, the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation, Ubodun Nam, represented by the Assistant Director and Head, Child Rights Information Bureau of the Ministry, Temitoye Falayi, said expectation from the media was in the area of ethical reporting of child protection. In a keynote address, the UNICEF Chief of Lagos Field Office, Celine, noted that ethical reporting about children was imperative to ensure the rights were not compromised in pursuit of catchy headlines, adding that they believe that every child has the right to be seen, heard, and protected. Ethical reporting is not just a professional standard, but as I say, it is a moral imperative. Despite global effort to reduce poverty, millions of families continue to struggle for basic needs such as food, clothing, and shelter. However, the growing population, unequal distribution of wealth, and limited access to opportunities have slowed progress. The eradication of poverty, therefore, remains a collective task that requires the involvement of government, private sectors, and citizens to create a lasting change and restore hope to struggling families across the nation. Akojopo FM News correspondent Iroyin Ishola reports on the eradication of poverty. Here are the details.
Poverty remains one of the biggest challenges facing the world today, affecting millions of people who struggle daily to meet basic needs such as food, shelter, and education. In many developing countries, including Nigeria, the widening gap between the rich and the poor continues to hinder growth and development. Despite various government programs and international support, poverty persists due to unemployment, inflation, corruption, and unequal access to opportunities. While speaking with Akojopo FM News, a trader spoke on the cause of poverty in society. The impact of poverty goes beyond financial hardship. It affects health, education, and the whole society at large. In an interview with Akojopo FM News, Mr. Damilare Adu spoke on other effects of poverty in society.
The major thing that causes poverty in the society is unemployment. It is someone that have a job that will be able to live a comfortable life. But one who doesn't have a job can't live comfortably in the society.
To truly eradicate poverty, both governments and citizens must work hand in hand. Similarly, individuals and communities should support one another through empowerment programs, mentorship, and local initiatives that promote financial independence. In an interview with Agirigba FM News, Mrs. Rachel Folorunsho provides ways in which the government can do better in eradicating poverty.
The government should be able to offer empowerment, such as providing funds to support people's business. Also, we heard that the government is distributing money, but we only see it on our phones. The money does not get to us.
In conclusion, eradicating poverty requires more than promises. It demands commitment, compassion, and action from everyone. When people are given equal opportunities and the right support, societies grow stronger and the dream of a poverty-free world becomes achievable. Akojopo Ishola, Agirigbo FM News.
The Oyo State Police Command has informed the public about a robbery that occurred this morning along Secretariat Road, Agodi, as a bank depositor traveling was tracked and forcibly robbed of a substantial, yet to be ascertained amount of cash. Initial investigations indicated that an officer associated with the Oyo State Police Command sustained severe injuries during a confrontation that arose when his team on patrol engaged a suspect in a bid to thwart their further plans of causing chaos following the attack on the unsuspecting individual. Fortunately, there have been no reported fatalities, and the injured officer is currently receiving immediate medical attention at a secure healthcare facility. In light of the incident, the Oyo State Police Command urged the members of the community to come forward with any credible and timely information that may aid in the prompt apprehension of the suspect involved, and assure the public that an extensive investigation is underway and updates will be communicated as they become available. A social affairs analyst, Comrade Femi Babalola, state government prioritize citizens' welfare and poverty reduction over investing in airport construction project. Speaking on Agirigbo FM's program, Shokonwa, Comrade Babalola highlighted alternative project that could boost economic growth without compromising citizens' well-being, acknowledging that airport construction can improve the economy, but emphasized that the standard of living of residents should be considered to ensure the project's sustainability.
I think most of the state government, they didn't set their priority in the right way. Most of them believe in the project that they are going to embark on, which will put money into their pockets. And when you look at what is ravaging us, especially the society that belong to, you will see that we have a lot of things that they could lay their hands on, which will be so much of high benefit to the citizenry instead of the white elephant project. Airport is not bad, but you look at one, your priority, your scale of preference. Is that the very first thing that we really need? We don't need to dissipate energy on something that we know we can tag to be frivolities. So as far as I know, majority of the state government, they are doing that in order for them to be able to, get money into their pocket. And when we look at it in a broader view, they want to embark on such a thing so that their name could be implanted during the time of so and so. We have this, which I think is of no need.
According to Babalola, addressing citizens' basic needs should be the primary focus of government, ensuring their well-being and economic stability taking precedence over infrastructure projects. Now it is time to link up with our United Kingdom studio for the foreign news.
News from Pelu Adenike Studio at Agirigbo FM, United Kingdom. I am Olushola Damilola. The United Kingdom government has wasted billions of pounds of taxpayers' money on asylum accommodation, according to a report by a committee of MPs. The members of parliament said expected costs had tripled to more than £15 billion and not enough had been done. The report stated that the current system for housing people seeking asylum with its reliance on hotel was expensive, unpopular with local communities, and unsuitable for the asylum seekers. Around 103,000 asylum seekers are being housed by the government, of which just over 32,000, around one-third, are accommodated in 210 hotels. Although Home Office spokesperson said the government was furious about the numbers of illegal migrants in the country and in hotel, however, reiterated its pledge to end the use of asylum hotels by 2029. U.S. immigration authorities has detained British Muslim journalist and political commentator Sami Hamdi. Homeland Security officials said on Sunday that Hamdi visa has been revoked and he will be deported. Hamdi spoke at a gala for the Council on American Islamic Relations in Sacramento, California on Saturday and was scheduled to speak yesterday at one of the group's events in Florida before he was detained at San Francisco International Airport. CAR Deputy Director Edward Ahmed Mitchell admitted Hamid has previously denied supporting Islamic militants while the organization lawyer had been unable to reach him. And that ends the news from Pelu Adenike Studio at Gidigbo FM, United Kingdom. I am Olushola Damilola.
You're welcome back. And now we shall also be moving to our Maryland studio, United States, for more foreign news.
News from Pelu Adenike Studio at Gidigbo FM, United States. I am Oluwatosin Sonya. China pressed on Monday for open trade and stronger economic ties at a regional summit in Malaysia dominated by the shadow of steep U.S. tariffs as Canada's premier expressed readiness to meet U.S. President Donald Trump to defuse trade tensions. A day after Trump's 6-hour blitz of meetings and trade announcement at the Association of Southeast Asian Nations Summit in Kuala Lumpur, Chinese Premier Li Qiang called on regional leaders to uphold free trade and oppose protectionism, a phrase China has used to call out Trump's tariffs. He urged countries to uphold free trade and the multilateral trading system, oppose all forms of protectionism, and continuously advance regional economic integration. In a flurry of deal-making on his first stop of a 5-day tour of Asia, Trump last Sunday oversaw the signing of an expanded ceasefire he brokered between Cambodia and Thailand and trade framework agreements with 4 countries, none of which reduced import tariffs, though they left room for exemptions. Cameroon's President Paul Biya, the world's oldest serving ruler, secured an 8th term in office on Monday, vote results showed, as the main opposition challenger, who has also claimed victory, reported gunfire near his home. Biya, 153.66% of the votes against 35.19% of his former ally Issa Chiroma Bakari, according to the Constitutional Council. A new 7-year term could keep the veteran leader in power until he is nearly 100. Opposition protesters have clashed with security forces repeatedly over the past week after partial results suggested Biya was on the course to win the October 12 votes. There was no immediate comment on the result from the government, which has rejected opposition accusations of irregularities. After the results were announced, Chiroma wrote on Facebook that 2 people were killed after shots were fired at civilians outside his home in the northern city of Garoua. The result raised the prospect of more confrontations between opposition supporters and security forces a day after at least 4 people died in clashes in Cameroon's commercial capital, Douala. That ends the news from Pelu Adenike Studio at Gidigbo FM, United States. I am Oluwatosin Sonya.
You're welcome back once again. And now in the exciting world of sports. Juventus has sacked manager Igor Tudor following the side's defeat by Lazio. The Croatian joined the Italian club in March as Thiago Motta's replacement. Defeat against Lazio on Sunday was the side's 3rd consecutive loss in all competitions. Juventus added that Massimiliano Brambilla would take charge of the side for their Serie A fixture against Udinese on Wednesday. The old lady are 6 points behind leaders Napoli and have failed to win in their last 5 league matches. Juventus are 25th in the Champions League group stage table, having lost once and drawn twice in their opening 3 matches. To wrap up the news this evening, here is a recap of the headlines. Federal government, UNICEF seek media support to safeguard children's rights. Oyo State Police report a robbery incident on Secretariat Road, Agodi. US detains a British commentator, Sami Hamdi, in middle of national speaking tour. China fuses a void at Asian summit with push for trade multilateralism. Juventus sack manager Tudor after 7 months. And before we go this evening, here is a quick tip. A dream doesn't become reality through magic. It takes sweat, determination, and hard work. Finally, we have come to the end of the news around the world on the most listened to radio station, Akojopo 88.7 FM, Ibadan. I am Wuraola Yusuf. Thank you for listening. Good evening.
News is information, and information is power. At Akojopo 88.7 FM, we bring the news from top to bottom.
The Oyo State government has said the over 1.5 million out of school children.
We give you reports from Oyo State,
the Oyo State House of Assembly has called for thorough investigation,
the Southwest in Nigeria, and the rest of the world.
has clarified that the body did not receive any cash support from international development.
Trust us to keep you informed every hour, every day.
Akojopo 88.7 FM. The people.